We force the vendor into selling to us.
Oh, and receive shadow points for deception.
That would we would not be deceiving them in any way.
Sure.
That would just be us haggling a price.
Indeed. We'll tell the shadow that too.
Hey, so our hit die go up as well, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
I've still never understood that.
What is hit
Purpose of
die?
hit dice.
Yeah, I haven't quite figured that out yet either.
So for some resistances and things, it'll say something about hit die,
Okay.
like a poison or a
I'm
illness.
just going to assume it's 2d10. Because that's what I have to roll every level, so 1d10.
Alright, so we're all at 300 experience points, is that correct? That's the level for... Okay. Alright, I think I've got all of Rampage's updated.
Yay!
Do mine real quick.
Well, I'm also ready, so I guess we will start the hot Lord of the Ring action.
Yeah.
So right now,
hold
I'll
on.
go ahead. Oh, what's up?
I don't think Beason has done his yet.
I'm fine, go.
Okay, so I can ask everyone to go ahead and roll their initiative.
Okay.
Which one is that?
I'll attempt to figure out how to do that.
Should just be able to click on the box that says initiative.
And you could roll a 1.
Yeah, you could auto roll one. That's fine.
This one?
I'm clicking on that box. It's not doing anything.
All right, now,
Not the box,
there
the word initiative right within
I
it.
got a 20.
There we go.
I got a 20. I got a
okay,
20.
Rampage. Okay, the order. Let me write. I need to write this down on my little notepad of justice.
I got a 20.
I forgot I was watching a video at the same time. Ba-dum-bum.
Apparently there is no turn tracker or proper token selected.
That's fine. I'm using initiative in a different way.
Using it to determine who goes first.
Yeah, that's not technically what I'm supposed to be doing, but well, I mean, we would find some other system. I just figured that works best. Okay, so the order for today. By the way, congratulations, Rampage.
Yay!
You get to make first action.
Yay! Yes!
And Nick, you get to make second action.
Okay.
So I see some pigs.
Yep. I've redone the map for everybody.
Bacon.
Made it a little bit prettier.
Bacon.
Alright.
And as always, Mr. B
wants
goes
to buy
last.
a pig.
Oh, I have 28 points.
Alright, so.
Would anyone like to build a snowman?
It doesn't have to
Not
be a snowman.
particularly. It could be a mudman.
A pigman.
Who wants to build a mud golem with me?
Does it have
Not
to be a
me.
mud golem? Could it be a snowman corporation?
Yes.
Do you want to build a snowman? Oh my god.
Sorry, one of the parodies I did was like,
No,
do you want
just
to
let
build
it
a
go.
Yeti? Alright, so
Oh my god.
Rampage, what would you like to do? I believe during the last action, Mr. B. What exactly did you do as your last action?
I think where we left off was Pip showed us where he dug. So Pip showed us where he dug up or he hid the amulet. I don't believe we decided to remove it from that place. I don't know that we made that decision.
No, y'all
No.
left it. Y'all left it.
I sent a note off to on
Learn
my
more about
Raven
it.
friend, and he returned. I don't know how fast. It was quite quickly. I think he's like
Yes.
super flyer, or whoever he's sending, or whoever he took the note to was very close. But I received a note back. I asked about what we should do about this amulet, and also about Doomerhorn.
And you received a message giving some good old suggestions. So then we ended it there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. With that said, Rampage. What would you like to do?
So, considering last time where I had 300 pizza rolls, I don't think I need to eat for about a year.
Are you sure?
Do you feel a little full? Maybe
I
Dan
feel
has
like
to
if I
roll
eat one-
you? You remember like the Willy Wonka thing? Where they roll the person who turned into a giant blueberry?
Yes.
Do you want to be a blueberry?
I think what I'll do is I'll take a short rest.
Okay.
Just gonna chill and wait for everyone else.
Okay. Maybe it's time to take a
Maybe.
nap.
Maybe Dan would like to go get an orange and some spring water.
I imagine at some point, but I bought
there's
some
this
extras.
There's even this
So-
nice crate of oranges over here for you.
I appreciate it, because I'm going to go through quite a few, I'm guessing.
What are you going to do in the midst of winter when trade is cut off?
Wait till spring.
You're just going to have like this giant pile of secret messages piling up that will do you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
DK, I want to know where
a year.
DK, I want the ducks to be represented on the map.
The ducks?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're next to the bridge.
Okay.
They're roughly in this area right here.
Okay.
Got it.
So, this bridge is apparently only like 5 to 10 feet long.
I might not have the proper measurements. I'm going to have to actually rescale it now that I've remodeled it. But that's okay. I could do that later.
Yeah.
By the way, Roll20 crashes about every 2 minutes, so...
Okay.
That's probably why your thingy is going off.
Well,
and
it's
on.
because, we're using this 100 by 100 map because it's pretty and beautiful and highly detailed. But so you'll know the you notice there's like a little grass texture? That is literally 100 by 100 grass texture that I made just for this map. Roll20
Nice.
sometimes has problems rendering it, and it will render a low-res version while it tries to render in the high-res version.
So, Nick, I believe it's you next.
Well,
Yeah,
yes, it is Nick's turn. So, Nick, what would you like to do?
I have walked off to the apartments so that I can find the Arbor Master.
Okay.
He's already building your house.
No. That's someone else. I'm looking for the Arbor Master.
Wilbur. You're going to pay Wilbur.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm here to pay Wilbur.
So you go off to go pay Wilbur. Well, that's happening. Dan, it's your turn.
Well... I'm not really sure what to do with myself at this point.
You could always come with me if you felt like it.
I could indeed. We do need to pay him. And, I'm kind of at loss. I need to be of assistance somewhere, but what to do? I've got to ponder on this. I don't think very fast.
That's
We've got
exactly
an amulet and potential problems
Dan.
everywhere.
Damn.
So you were in my predicament.
You should go take food to the Hobbit village after this.
Solid.
So
It's either that.
DK totally didn't make a Hobbit map, and I'm totally not using this as an excuse to make him pull it out.
The other thing we could do is we could go get those seeds,
So Dan, as you're...
which is the village of the woodmen.
Oh yeah, you totally could do that too. I don't have a woodman village, but you could totally visit
I'm too lazy for that.
it. By the way, Dan, as you're attempting to think about what you want to do, the blacksmith comes up to you.
Oh.
Albert, the owner of Spitfire Armory. Ah, laddie!
Hello out there.
I was looking for you. I'm afraid I have yet to pay you. You've been very difficult for me to find.
Oh, I do apologize. I had a lot of fun out there with you, though.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's a good voyage.
Well, as a moment of payment, he hands you over a small wallet.
Why, thank you, sir.
wallet.
I will thank him, shake his hand, and say, a pleasure doing business with you. Hopefully, we'll get to do more business over the next few years.
Aye, I hope so. Can always use to make some extra weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. In fact, maybe I'll be looking at buying some from him.
He's the only armory in town.
By the way,
Well, it's
Dan,
either that or we have to go on a voyage and get better weapons, but,
yeah.
you know.
Dan, in Skype, I sent you how much was in your little wallet.
Thank you. We'll add that.
He mentions about handing you a little bit extra because he kind of saw that you were the one who seemed to be taking all the blows.
I appreciate it.
You received hazard pay.
It was fairly hazardous. Well, I will thank him again and mention that I may be discussing commissioning a weapon from him in the near
Excellent.
future.
Do tell me when you wish for this, lady. It does take a while to make a good weapon.
I will do so.
Okay. With that,
Hey, DK,
oh yeah.
I have a question. Would this so-called local guide also be in the apartments?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to find him as well. While I'm there.
So I assume this is kind of like morning time and everyone just woke up and is moving about, and this is the first thing we're doing that day?
By the way, to specify, no. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah. Yes, you're right. What you were asking, yes. And my Skype message will be a little bit more clear for you.
Yeah, no, that's better. Kind of threw me,
I'm sorry.
asking for the location of a kingdom. It was kind of weird. Okay. Awesome.
What's up?
Awesome.
Okay. Mr. B, we lost you in the Skype call.
He said awesome.
Yeah, really? Am I gone? Can you not hear me?
I could. Well, everything went really quiet all of a sudden. I'm sorry. I mean, you're not there, but I realized why, because you're standing next to Rampage. I will learn one of these days. I will learn.
So he has a microphone, and you have to be facing directly in front of the microphone for it to catch anything. So when you move a little to the side, it doesn't really catch it.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I'm just soft-spoken.
And that.
But I carry
You
a
and
big
me
stick.
both. I prefer carrying a big sword. Tends to
And I
do
have
more
a large
damage.
hound who will gnaw on your toes.
Not on your tools.
Alright, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Alright, so I wake up, did the obligatory send the hound around looking for craziness. And I'm chilling in the inn,
Yeah.
chatting, talking to people, and I'm asking about the Hobbit village. I want to get as much information as I can about that Hobbit village.
Okay, so roll me any of your investigative skills that you have.
I can roll for him.
Yeah, but I think his investigative skills are better than yours, Rampage.
Yeah.
So, like perception?
It can be
Maybe he steals
perception
upon
or
cover.
anything that might be a conversation skill. I
So
mean,
probably-
you could totally pull out your belt knife and threaten someone to give you information.
Yeah, I'll probably do insight. Oh, hang on, it rolled advantage. Let me turn that off.
You got a 22.
Yeah, it's rolling it. Well, I don't know. Just pick the lower one.
You got a 22. Not bad.
It's still on
Not
advantage.
bad at all.
So just pick the lower one.
It doesn't do them highest and lowest. It just does them in order. So the one on the left would be the first one rolled.
This
Okay,
is true.
fine.
Okay. So you talk with the people for a bit, and you do definitely hear that there is definitely talk about that the mayor's trying to find some people to bring a basket of friendship to the hobbits, and that they're generally very friendly to the town. You do know that they're fishermen, and they love to fish. And they're probably the only hobbits that any of these townspeople have ever heard of. They call them something different, but it sounds more like a slang, and you're not really sure how they're pronouncing it. They all seem to be pronouncing it differently. There's not a consistency there. So you're going to stick with Hobbit because it seems that the slurring of dialects are slurring just a little too much, as if they're not really sure the proper way of pronouncing it.
And how far is this Hobbit village?
It's apparently really close by from the way they talk. In fact, it would not even be worthy of a fellowship phase. It's that close.
Okay.
They're talking. You definitely can tell that it's from the way people talk that it's like a neighboring city.
All right.
And that the hobbits really were very helpful to the city when setting up.
Okay. Is that my turn done?
Is there anything else you want to do before you end your turn?
I know what my next turn's going to be. So, before the rampaging elf continues to sit doing nothing, I make sure he's going to follow me for his next turn.
Okay, Rampage, would you like to follow Mr. B for your next turn?
No.
No!
No. I just thought of something that I need to do.
All right, good.
Or I want to do. I don't
Yeah,
need
you
to.
should make sure to stealth at the back door before he catches you.
So as the doctor goes to find Rampage, he finds a Rampage that doesn't want to have any part of this.
He's sneaky.
No, this is what I do. I sneak. So when he goes to find me, he looks in there and doesn't see me and doesn't know where I went.
Okay, well then, Rampage, can you roll me a stealth check?
Where do I do that?
And it's a stealth. No. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
As I recall, you have a really good stealth.
I got
We do have really good stealth.
what? Why was it advantaged? That's why.
But either way, you got an 8.
So with that,
Doctor, roll me a perception check.
it has to be lower than 8. Oh wow. Yeah, he definitely saw me.
All right. So Rampage, roll me an acrobatics check.
Oh! Ah! I did something. I did something. I will. Oh no, I'm doing stuff. I've done things.
Okay.
I've done things. I've done very bad things.
I
Forgive
don't think
me.
you should be doing things.
Oh my gosh.
Just go to your character.
And this.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Mhm.
Do me good. Well,
So, Doctor, as you open the door, you spot Rampage, and suddenly Rampage darts through the window and lands on the ground of the inn and runs off. And you're thinking to yourself, that was kind of an overreaction to, hey, did you want to join me? With that, Rampage...
That's what he had intended.
Rampage...
So this is what I thought I was gonna do. I thought I was just gonna do a front flip over Mr. B. That's what I was intending.
So what are you doing?
So what I wanted to do is I wanted to get more arrows.
Okay. You can go to the blacksmith and request him to make you some arrows.
So where's the blacksmith?
He is on the bottom right of the village. The tent.
So I do have a question about the
What?
prices on the armory.
Yes.
It looks like a range?
Yeah.
Okay.
The range is quality. The more
Okay.
you pay, the higher the quality he makes. But if you want something even better than that, you could pay him extra money and do a special order and tell him what you want all the materials made out of. And then he'll
Okay.
source it and everything. See, like, these values are based on the quality he thinks people might buy regularly. May not be what you're looking for, though.
Mm-hmm.
I want the highest quality arrows I can get.
So you're gonna pay him 10 silver per arrow.
Per 50. Okay, you go over to the blacksmith, start negotiating for arrows. So he pulls out the Albert pulls up this like parchment, and there's different like blueprints, and you can tell that these are different designs of arrows.
And I say I want the best ones.
Well, he says you can't afford the best ones, but you can afford the best ones he has to provide right now. If you want the best arrows, he's going to have to source those, and those are going to cost a lot more golds than what he gave you.
So how many of the arrows I can actually get could I have?
Of the ones that he's willing to sell you right now without like him having to source them privately.
Yeah.
Like the
Like the
for
best
him to
ones
make-
I'm actually allowed to have and I can
get
actually
right,
buy.
okay. You know they will not be ready this second, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But how many would there be?
He'll sell them to you in sets of 50 for the prices that he has specified, which for locally sourced arrows, 10 silver for every 50 being the best.
So how many silver is in 1 gold?
100 silver. In our variation to the, if there's ever a future audience watching this wondering why I did it like that, there's a reason. So yeah,
So
there's...
I'm going to pay him...
Just get 50 hours.
No. I'm going to pay him 20 silver.
Okay. You're going to pay him 20 silver and he'll make you 100 special red steel arrows. They will be ready for you next session. Okay?
Got it.
Alright, so can you remove 20 silver from your inventory.
DK,
We'll leave that to Beason.
DK, can I request that they be painted green?
No, they will be painted in light red. Very,
Well, actually,
very bright
ironically, he was going to make you red steel arrows.
red. Yay!
So those wondering what my system is, I have a coloring system I've set aside for this RP. That'll be different quality grades. So if you've never heard of this material, we're just say these are local materials.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
you've made your order of 50 red steel... 100 red steel arrows.
yeah, so before my turn ends, I go over to Mr. Beason, and I thank the blacksmith, and I go over to Mr. Beason, and I ask, what did you want to tell me?
Go ahead, Mr. B.
We'll wait.
And with that, Mr. B the doctor stares at the rampaging elf. And we move on to the next phase. I believe next is Nick. Nick, go ahead.
I am searching for the Arbor Master.
You find the Arbor Master in the apartments?
Hello, Will.
Nick. It's good to see you.
Yes, I believe I owe you some payment.
Yes,
yeah.
you did.
What
As
was
I
it?
recall.
But 15 days of work, as I recall?
Sounds about right.
Okay. And I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to hand him a small pouch with 10 silver in it.
Okay.
A bit extra for the hazards, of course.
Remember to remove how much silver you gave him.
I just did.
Okay. And how much did you give him exactly?
I gave him 10 silver. It was a bit extra. I only owed him 7.5 silver.
Okay.
So what were the arrows I actually started out with? What were the original 20?
They're iron arrows.
Okay, so not as good as the ones I just bought?
Oh, definitely not as good. These are... You started off with regular arrows.
Ooh.
These arrows
And
will
now I
give
have-
you a damage bonus. And a penetration
Ooh.
bonus.
Ooh. I will have... No thing could stop me.
Okay. So, Nick, you have paid the Arbor Master.
Okay.
10 silver.
Okay. And then I'd like to see if I can find this local guide you spoke of.
Okay. So, you go to the apartments attempting to find the local guide.
I mean, I was already at the apartments, but...
I know, but you go to the other part of the apartments to find the local guide. His name is Bowman.
I'm aware.
So you find the one where you feel that Bowman is. Do you want to take a knock on the door?
Yes.
Who is it?
My name is Nick. I'm looking for Mr. Bowman.
Ah, that would be me. What can I help you with, sir?
Yes, I heard you're the local guide. I was hoping you could
True.
tell me a bit about the area.
What do you wish to know of the area? As Bowman just kind of stares at you, wondering what little information Bowman will choose to provide you because he wishes to be paid for his services.
I was hoping that perhaps you could assist me in finding a rather large pocket of stone nearby.
That could be arranged.
So, and of course, if one were to assist with this, one would be paid for such a task.
Well, I don't wish to be callous, but you could say hire me for 7 days. That should be a silver, and I will find you your stone quarry.
I find these terms acceptable.
Excellent. Half now, half when I get back. Fair?
Yeah, fair. Agreed.
Alright, so he's asking for 50 copper. Well, wait, sorry. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. So that would be 70 coppers.
But
So how much copper is one
I thought I was
silver?
paying him 1 silver.
I'm sorry, I made a mistake there in my math. I'm sorry. I failed math.
Okay.
How much copper is in one
I will
silver?
go ahead and pay him 70 copper then for now.
Okay. In the other 70
get-
when he gets back. Okay.
Yes.
It's a little more than a
much?
silver, I'm sorry. It's 100 coppers equal 1 silver.
So it's 1 silver and 40 coppers.
Okay.
Yeah. 100 coppers equal 1 silver, 100 silver equals 1 gold. 100 gold
I went
equals
ahead.
Shouldn't
a-
it? Shouldn't he have to? So
I
shouldn't?
went ahead and I removed the 70 coppers from my character sheet already.
Okay. By the way, just so y'all know, if y'all have large amounts of gold hanging around, you might consider leaving some of it at your house, and you need to note that. Once you hit a certain level of gold, it will start weighing you down and adding levels of fatigue during travel.
Makes sense.
This is per the rule book. The rule book says, like, if you tried to carry a tremendous amount of wealth with you, it would be unreasonable and it would weigh you down and terrible things.
So is there like an
That's right.
ender chest?
You
No.
can buy chests and stuff.
No, he wants a Minecraft ender chest.
It's basically just like the concept. So I can
No,
put something in
concept
something
doesn't
and it goes
exist.
to another thing.
In pure Dungeons and Dragons, we would call that a bag of holding and call it a day. But sadly, no. No bags of holding in Lord of the Rings.
Why?
Yes, but bags of holding don't share inventory. Because bags of holding are magical items, and magical items don't really exist very well.
There are magical items, but they're not common. And they don't work like that.
If only.
Magic is a rarity here in Mordor.
I mean, technically, the Doctor being able to heal people by waving his hand, that could be perceived as a form of magic.
I think doesn't it say he's basically doing some kind of first aid though.
Yeah, I know. But in the eyes of everyone else, it would be magic. Because
Well, right, we don't understand it.
Yeah.
So
Beason,
you know
you
what,
have magic
Dan, it
powers.
feels perfectly reasonable to me, now
Mhm.
that I've completed my things, for the two of us to go perhaps visit a hobbit village, and take a certain offering with us, if the village could provide it.
I would be
Perhaps
happy
we
to
could.
come along.
Perhaps we could see the mayor about this during your turn.
Yeah. That'll be good with me. And then on the way out, though, I'll need to stop by the blacksmith.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
So if it's my turn, we'll head over to see Mr. Dokal, Mayor.
Okay.
And
I guess it is your turn, indeed.
we'll discuss what
Dan,
kind of
did-
food we need to bring.
Dan, did you properly update your health on your character sheet?
Yes.
Because your health bar is smaller than mine.
Hmm?
Did you make sure to update current hit points too?
Yes. Mine's just smaller because I'm cool like that. So, yeah, I even double checked the character thing, but it's good.
I can't select your character to check.
Yeah, no, it says 25 when I look at the hit points on him, so,
Okay.
yeah. It is good. So we're going to talk to Mr. Dokel and see...
Oh, wait. Did you update hit point maximum and current hit points?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're probably over your maximum.
No.
No, his
it's
says
sitting
24
at
to 24.
Oh, okay. Well,
It could be that
no.
his character model, because he's carrying the great bow, his character model is bigger, so he has a bigger hit bar because he's a little bit wider because of his giant bow.
that makes sense. The guy with the staff, the doctor, has a larger one too.
Yeah. It's not that crazy.
No,
Okay.
I'm okay with it. Anyway, so go talk to the mayor.
Okay. So you come to the mayor's building. You notice some of the trees leading up to his house have been taken care of.
Very nice.
Looks like he's in. It looks like they're starting to prepare the village for the current construction projects.
Very nice. It does look a lot more open. I will greet Denise, or I will walk in without knocking this time.
And I'm obviously just following Dan.
And I will greet Denise and ask if the mayor is available.
Okay. Of course. I will tell him. She goes and grabs the mayor. The mayor comes up. Ah! It is Kal-El, and is that Nick? It is amazing to see both of you on this day. Be there troubling times.
Well, we would be happy to be of assistance. Right now we were thinking perhaps we could help bring a food offering to the hobbits to repay them for all of their assistance. And we would asking if there was anything particular we should bring, and then who we should talk to once we're there, if there's anything else we can accomplish along the way.
Well, first, you're going to need this. And he hands... He kind of goes over to the table, pulls out a document, cuts it in half, and he writes some stuff down on it, and then he takes it onto the table and scoots it towards you.
Okay.
Which one of you will pick up the document?
Yes.
I shall pick up the document.
Nick, would you like to look at the document?
I will look at the document.
It is a document of repayment.
Okay.
And it has the goods that are to be surrendered to the person with this document.
Okay.
And it is signed by the mayor.
Okay.
And he tells you to look for the elder of the Hobbit village named... He stops to think for a second, and you see his eyes kind of go up a bit as he's trying to remember the name. And he's like... Fyodor. Yes, Fyodor.
Excellent. And they are just across the river, yes?
Oh, yes, definitely. They're right next door. It's not that much of a trip. It'll probably take no more than a night.
Very well. I will thank him again and say we will be off to do that shortly.
Indeed. With that, he picks up Nick, and he hugs him in this giant, like in his bare arms that he has. And then he starts to do that same thing to Dan, but he stops, realizing that you're not supposed to do that to elves, and yada yada yada. Goes through his mind.
I shake his hand gravely, and whisper, "Thank you."
I feel that
You're welcome.
since we seem we'll likely be gone for a day, I feel that perhaps I should tell our other companions, and I make haste from Dan, and I search out for Mr. B and a rampaging elf.
Well, while he does that, I'll head to the blacksmith.
Well, if you find one of us, you'll find both of us.
I'm aware. Decay, should I check to see if I fail my spot check?
Yes, please.
Okay.
A 14.
Rampage, you see Nick kind of looking around, looking out in the distance, but he doesn't seem to think that you'll be close as he walks by y'all. He's like looking out. He's like has a 100-yard stare as he's looking down towards the trees.
Is it really required to have a 15 to succeed a spot check?
Yes.
Depends on the difficulty.
I didn't think a normal spot check would be that hard.
Well,
You were looking in the wrong direction. It's actually quite common for that to happen.
Wow, this game's spot checks are apparently evil.
You should have turned your character around. And I think that would have been a lot better.
I physically can't turn my character like that is the problem. I have to make DK do it. I can move my character all I want, but I can't change which direction he's facing.
I have the wrong character selected. I'm sorry.
I'm assuming I get to have a turn here soon?
Yeah. Go ahead, Ram. Oh yeah, it would be Mr. B's turn now. Go ahead, Mr. B. Mr. B, you also notice, like, kind of Rampage kind of points as Nick's looking out into the forest towards the end, because apparently he thought y'all would be at the end.
I mean...
Oh, I'm gonna go see the mayor.
What?
Are you gonna say anything to Nick? Like Rampage is kind of pointing at Nick as he's walking right next to you.
I asked him what he wanted to tell me. And he's just going to ignore that?
Well, you don't know that I want to tell you anything.
No. Beason. I asked him, hey, what did he want to tell me before I ran off?
Yeah, and he just stares at you.
And ignores me.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I'm not really sure what you're trying to suggest, DK. Is he walking past us and doesn't see us? And
He's looking to his right, and you're on his left. He's staring at the end because he's going towards the end because he thinks that's where you all are.
Well, that's where I was coming from.
Well, you moved your characters over here, so we're over here now.
I haven't touched my character.
Yeah, well, see, Rampage ran over here, so this is where y'all would meet up.
I think he's confused.
It's fine. We'll just say Nick was looking the wrong direction from y'all. Did you all want to, like, grab his attention?
Yes.
Well, it's Mr. B's turn, so is Mr. B going to attempt to alert Nick?
How far away is he?
Very close. You could just grab him by the shoulder.
Okay, then I really have a hard time understanding why he can't see us.
He's
But
looking.
okay.
He's looking the opposite side from y'all because
Yeah.
he's decided y'all are somewhere else where you are not. He's looking out into the distance as well because he's heard rumors of Rampage playing in the trees.
Say good morning, and
Do you clear your throat going?
just
No.
good morning, Nick.
Hello. Actually, I was looking for you two.
We could tell.
Alright,
I felt that we should inform you that myself and what's Dan's name, by the way?
Kal-El.
Kalel.
Oh, okay, yes.
Superman.
Myself and Kal-El will be heading to the Hobbit Village later today.
very good. I was just about to go see the mayor to see what we could do to take them whatever they needed to do. I was told that we're supposed to be taking them a gift.
Yes, I already have this. I retrieved this from the mayor already.
And you see from in Nick's possession is an order of procurement and repayment from the mayor.
Okay. Doesn't that mean we're going to take something from them?
No. He's going to hand it to the merchants here, and they're going to hand over supplies to go take to the hobbits. And the mayor will repay the merchants here for it.
Alright, great.
Yeah, it would really suck like y'all are bringing like, you owe us something, Hobbit.
You've helped us so much, you owe us for it.
You helped
helped
us
us.
way too much. You owe us for all your help.
Yes.
You helped us build a wall, and now we're gonna make you pay for it.
Okay. So y'all are now all united. Did you all want to go and unite, do everything you need to leave?
Yeah, I feel that's reasonable.
So I need
Nick,
to collect the foodstuffs and...
Nick,
Mr.
Yeah.
B, do you agree since it is your turn?
Nick, I have a
Yeah, I mean,
question.
the goal is to get
Go
to the
ahead,
Hobbit
Rampage.
Village.
Okay.
Was the wall a great wall?
Yes, it was.
Alright, so Nick, would you like to hand over to the merchants your ticket of payment?
Yes,
Okay.
I will.
You hand it over, and they say they'll have it ready in a few short whiles.
Okay.
And a cart is prepared, because apparently the order of procurement is also for a temporary borrowing of a horse, a carriage, and everything needed to move these gift basket to the hobbits.
Okay.
We're going to accelerate so they're finished. Okay. So with that, the village has prepared everything needed to be hand given to the hobbits. And you're like looking at what has been prepared, and that's not a fruit basket.
What is it?
It's literally giant crates of food.
So,
Okay.
lunch for the hobbits.
Second
There
breakfast.
are-
Maybe just second tea time.
Yeah, second breakfast.
Honestly.
There are crates of various fruits and vegetables, potatoes.
Don't they eat a lot of
Apparently
cakes?
There's rumors that the hobbits might like potatoes, so they added extra potatoes. And then apparently there's a crate of sweets and cookies and all this that the bakery shops helped produce.
Okay, yeah. So this is definitely tea time. The second coming.
This is, I don't even see how one could eat this much. I mean, I eat a lot, but
You've never met a hobbit. Or a dwarf, for that matter.
Well, see, I don't think the way I've always perceived it is they eat a lot of little tiny meals. But maybe I'm misunderstanding that.
Well, I mean, they're small people, so a small meal for us would probably be a bigger meal for them, but
But you also have to remember they may be small, but they still have to do just as much work as we do.
They might burn more energy, but still, a rabbit doesn't eat more than a human does.
No.
But that's just how I've always seen it. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The other thing is that the hobbits seem to have a much more peaceful life, and they seem to really more have the food to burn, so they can, afford to, gorge themselves a bit more.
of course. Okay, well, y'all ready?
At least if they live in the Shire.
Mm-hmm.
These do not live in the Shire.
And when I went to the blacksmith, I sent you a message for my query as to order.
Ah, I see your inquiry. You secretly sent it in chat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you want to discuss that further with the blacksmith in more specifics of what you're looking for?
No, I'm going to leave it up to his best judgment.
Okay, his best judgment, okay. He said it should be ready. He gives a timeline suggesting that maybe 1 to 2 game sessions.
Fair enough. I'm in no particular hurry, so I'll tell him to take his time.
Okay. Y'all ready to depart?
Yes.
Alright, so let's just do a quick... I'll have... You know what, Rampage? I will let you roll a 1d100 and we'll determine how perilous this one-day journey will be.
It'd be really funny if your crit fails.
Oh my.
A 2.
If we're going on Dark Heresy terms, that's actually pretty close to success.
It was good. Okay, it's a 2. We're playing Dark Heresy. Oh my
Your
gosh.
journey was full of sunshine and rainbows out in the distance. Little birds came and sat on the caravan and sang y'all beautiful songs that filled you with happiness. It made the journey seem like it took half the time it did. Yes.
TK, were the ends of the rainbows anywhere near us so that maybe we could look for the leprechaun's pot of gold?
No, they were out into the outskirts.
Aww.
They were quite far away.
If only we could have got the whole pot of gold. And because there were so many,
So good.
every single one of us would have 1 pot of gold.
No, what would happen is you would follow the rainbows and come to the end, and there would be a bowl of cereal.
Hey, you know what? We could take that bowl of cereal, we could turn it into a brand, and we could just mass sell it to people. Everybody would love it. We'd make billions, DK, billions.
Rampage, have you ever heard of the cereal Lucky Charms?
No.
Okay. It is a cereal that the spokesperson for it is a leprechaun.
Oh.
And the thing is, kids always are always chasing him for his Lucky Charms.
Okay.
And they can never seem to get more than a bite of the cereal bowl.
Anyway, moving forward, your journey was beautiful and amazing, so let's go to the Hobbit Village! Whee!
Yay!
Hey, this is a very small village.
Hey, you
It
know
seems
what, DK?
smaller
You didn't
than
do
ours.
bad. I only have one problem.
Hmm.
You should have orientated them so that they formed more like a circle.
Yeah, I didn't feel like doing that.
Fair enough. They look like nice little houses, and I like the waterfall and everything.
Yeah. I decided there was going to be a waterfall there, regardless.
Regardless of whether that should be possible.
Yes. It is possible. There's a giant mountain there that just has a waterfall coming down on it. It's beautiful.
It's
Okay,
perfect.
well.
They even have these nice wooden plank bridges and everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to redo those, but
They've been here longer than we have. They already had a town for a long time. We're new. Someday our village may be that nice. Someday.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know where they do their farming, but they don't need to do farming. They do fishing.
yeah, they're fishers.
Fish.
That's probably why they need food from us, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, they very much
Cooperative.
live next to one of the big rivers, and that's where their fishing boats are.
But
Okay.
Okay, so you arrive at the Hobbit village with your caravan in good health.
And because of that,
Oh, yes.
hold on. Because of that, leave a like and subscribe.
Yes, definitely like, subscribe to Rampage, Mr. B, and DK329.
Yes.
DK, are there any hobbits nearby that I can see?
Oh, definitely. There are a lot of them. A lot of them have beards.
Okay. Can I approach the nearest hobbit and ask him if he knows where the village elder is?
He comes over to you. Seems quite confident. Ah! Who are you, laddie?
Is this man the village elder or just the hobbit I approached?
This is the hobbit you approached.
My name is Nick. I'm from a settlement nearby.
Ah! Would it be that, New Merkswood village?
Yes, something like that.
Yes. You'll need a lot of wood, you did. Told you just to build them under the ground, but you wouldn't listen.
I know, right?
That's
Like,
not the
building them under the
human
ground
way.
it'd be so much more effective, though.
Yeah, exactly. It helps bring the house's temperature down, keeps it cool during the summers, keeps it warm during the winters.
Hold on, DK. I like what you did.
It's just not the human way.
What's that, Rampage?
DK. I like what you did by just putting a normal house underneath grass.
You just realized what I did, didn't you?
No, I realized that as soon as we got here. And I'm just like, what?
See, I already knew this ahead of time, so I had no reaction to it. I already knew it was coming.
I took a little hill texture and put it on top.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so yes, no, but we were searching for the village elder.
I can arrange that, laddie. Come.
Thank you.
And then he turns and looks at your caravan. And he kind of taps you with the back of his elbow. Is that for us?
Okay. Yes.
Oh. And
May or may
now
not be lots of food.
Now he's skipping very gleefully.
It may or may not be lots of food.
And he goes, Elder! Come, Elder!
I don't think this is normal.
And suddenly you hear a door like throw open, and the Hobbit chieftain comes out. What at this time of hour, day? I was taking a nap.
Hello.
And he looks up at y'all. He looks back down. What's with them? They bring us
we bring
food.
gifts.
They bring food. Why didn't you say so? Bring everyone to the center.
I don't see a van. I don't see a van in the center. There's a problem.
Yes, DK, you'll have to pull up our Imperial Uber to pull the food.
So the caravan comes to the center, and y'all start exchanging the goods, handing the crates over, and with that, the village elder, Theodore, says, "To this day, this gracious gift given to us by Nuru Mirkwood. Today, feast!" And they start grabbing the food, and you see what looks to be like, apparently, like, the food being sent somewhere. It looks like they want to prepare the food into a feast, and they welcome you to join them for this feast.
I feel that would be a good idea, so that we can bond more with the locals.
And I am going to see if I can't talk privately with the elder, along with if I can bring Nick as well, because I feel like we probably need to warn him about the hobgoblins and such, as they are even closer than we are.
Only slightly.
Only
While
slightly,
they're
but
doing
nonetheless, they should be warned.
Do you
am,
think the doctor might want to also join y'all?
Is he even there?
This
Yeah,
is
probably
my
should be
choice.
all
I'm
of
not the one
us.
arranging this mission. So.
Should be all of us.
Okay, the group comes to you, Doctor, and wants you to join them to have a private speak with the chief.
I don't think I was in this, so
You're
Rampage,
here.
did you-
You're getting ready to enjoy a massive feast. They
We
give you
forcibly
Explain
brought
they
about
give you a
this.
special elf like bib.
just for you.
okay.
But we'll tell you beforehand that we're going to warn them about the hobgoblins. We just want to keep it quiet.
Okay. And I start
Which is
eating.
why we're clearly yelling about hobgoblins so that everybody can hear.
No.
Hey, there's hobgoblins!
Nope. Shh.
Alright, so
I just
do you want to
like,
take do you want to take the chieftain to the side?
Yeah, if we can.
Okay. He leads you closer to the waterfall, so whatever you have to say any words will not spread far.
Okay. And then I'll say that we've found some stirrings of the shadow nearby, and Nick and the doctor can probably explain better, but that
Why do you assume I can
danger
explain
is
this
afoot.
at all?
Well, you don't want
I
me
had nothing to
explaining
do with
things.
this conversation, so...
I mean, if you want me to try to persuade things or explain things, I can try, but
I want to know, I was never in any way part of the hobgoblin conversation. I heard about it from Mr. B, and then I just kind of ignored it. So...
fair enough. Then, Mr. B, could you explain?
So we explained to the mayor. Well, he's not a mayor, is he? He's a chieftain.
Mm-hmm.
He's a head hobbit.
Yeah.
About the stirrings at Dwimmerhorn and the hobgoblins that we found.
And with that, the chieftain takes his hand into the water, and he presents his handful of water, and then says, "So, I have something also to inform you. Water is wet." He then starts to hand you water.
I look at him and say, I have to agree, the water is wet.
Oh my god.
And you can save a bunch of money by switching to Geico.
We can save 15% or more by switching to Geico for car insurance.
Even if you didn't have to pay anything and it was 100%
Alright, so
save,
is
it would be
he-
115% save.
Is he?
Oh, DK, I know, you can switch 15% or more on cart insurance if you switch to Geico.
Oh my gosh. Alright, go ahead, Mr. B, I'm sorry.
So, I'm just trying to, I guess, perceive or whatever to see if he is clearly not comprehending or if he's on purpose changing the subject.
He appears to be comprehending. It is as if you told him about something that he is much closer to that tower. He knows it's happened. He also knows that they don't go out and mess with. They're specifically designed their village to not be noticed very well. The only reason you knew where this village was is because they came out to you and told you where it was. They do know about the construction of that building because it's close by. They saw it get built.
Yeah, and because of all this,
So essentially, you've told them something they know about already. They are slightly scared about it, but they really don't have any very great relocation plans.
All right.
But if worse comes to worse, they do have their own evacuation plans.
So I asked him if there are any Gondorians in the village.
And his eyes grow big for a second. I know who you seek. You seek.
And I will be right back.
Okay. And I'm going to spell this out for y'all for in case I'm mispronouncing it, so y'all can correct me. Arciryas.
No idea.
Okay. So, Archias, they said that he lives just a couple of miles away from the village, and they could gladly take you over to see him, if you want to go see him.
I would like to go see him.
Would you like to do that now?
I would like to do that now.
Okay.
But don't we have a feast to be at?
I mean, I'll stay for the feast.
Well, no, the feast. The feast is being cooked now, so by the time y'all get back, it'll be done.
Fine, I'll go see it with him.
All right, you head off to meet Archias. You see a small hut, a couple of miles away from the Hobbit village, up on a little hill with a little chimney. The house seems somewhat degraded, but you could definitely see signs of an apothecary, doctor.
Gold. All right. So, awesome. Let's go.
Okay. Do you want to knock on the door?
Yeah, I assume. I kind of following the chieftain's lead here.
We knock 3. And Archias opens the door. You notice he's wearing what looks to be kind of they definitely are the robes of someone who is very much a scholar. But you notice he has a mask over his face. And immediately he looks at you, Mr. B, and he seems to discount everyone else except you. He walks up. Doctor. Just the man I was looking for. My master tells me that you were going to visit.
Yep.
Why don't you come in? Indeed. Come. Do you join him inside?
Yeah. So we go in.
And then he kind of turns to you and says, "By the way, are those your friends, or are they parasites that need to be vanquished?"
Wow!
I stop and I think for a little bit.
I can't say anything personally, but I think there may be some parasites among the group.
They're friends.
Well then,
You should
why
say
don't
one of
you,
them is a parasite.
friends, come inside, come inside, come inside. And you notice inside, the house looks a lot better. It looks to be in good and sound construction inside. It appears maybe the outward appearance was manufactured or designed to look in disarray.
Well, you know, if you're using if the house looks like it's in disarray, it's far less likely to be robbed.
He has y'all sit down, and he has this very nice fireplace that is very warm. And he hands out blankets for any of those who want him. As he sits down and says, well, let us talk, whatever I can help you with.
So we ask about Tormerhorn and all of the spoiler.
He starts with Dormanhorn. Curious, you weren't going to ask him who he was? Or who his master was?
Okay, fine.
And while all this is happening,
Who are you?
And
I am
while all this
Archias.
Is your name?
And while all
Servant.
this is happening, I've asked if I'm allowed to climb on
Tell
one of
me
the
who your
houses.
master is.
I asked, and I asked if I can climb on one of the houses.
Archias stares at Rampage and says, there is but only one house, and no houses. And then he returns back his eyes back to the doctor and says, I am Archias, servant of Saruman.
Okay.
Your master informed my master that you needed my assistance.
Good to know.
Now, about your inquiries. Dwarmenhorn is a dangerous place. It has been constructed quite a while ago. You may notice the hobbits appear to be well aware of its existence. They don't take it... They may appear to not take it seriously, but hobbits tend to... Is there something wrong, rampaging elf?
No.
Are you sure?
He was just going dun dun dun.
Okay. Well, would you like some cookies?
And this is what I do. Yeah.
Feel free to fetch them from the oven then. They were cooling. I apologize. Where was I? Oh, yes, of course. The forces... The hobbits may not seem to have taken the threat very seriously. Trust me, I've tried to tell them that they should put some distance between this place, but they have decided against it. They feel that if worse comes to worse, that they will take to the
They will go
great
inside of
rivers.
the waterfall.
Well, the rivers of their little hobbit hole connects with the greater river system, and they have a plan on escaping across that.
What they should do is they should have made a kind of like tiny place where they can all stay for a little while inside of the waterfall. So like behind the waterfall into the mountain. That's what they should have done.
Well, they don't have what you might call skill in mining as the dwarfs do, but that is a very wise idea indeed. And suddenly there's another knock on the door. Oh my!
Pizza.
Would one of y'all mind getting that?
I'll do it. I'll go and open up the door and say, "Greetings."
And at the door is the Hobbit chieftain with a small child. intel.
Oh no.
Is it Pip?
Yes, Pip is wet and soaked.
I will bring Pip to Nick and present him. And I will thank the Hobbit chieftain.
Hey Nick, your kid came.
Oh, great. Why is he my kid?
Wow.
And with that, Archias looks at Pip and says, young lad you have there. I bet he's a brave adventurer.
Pip's got to be pretty pleased by that.
He's 1% proud, 9% a little shameful on falling into the water.
Oh, I thought he jumped straight in. I thought he on purposely got wet.
Well, if Rampaging Elf has brought the cookies back, I'll take one of the cookies and offer it to Pip.
Master Archias, as Pip takes one of your cookies, grabs a nice warm blanket and puts it around Pip and tells him to go ahead and sit down. Anyway, where was I? Yes, the hobbits. Anyway, as I said, they have a plan, but I have no idea how feasible it is. But anyway, you had questions about Dovahkiin, correct? Please, which questions can I answer for you?
So we've discovered some information about how they are planning to fortify Dummerhorn and block up the mountain pass. Does he know anything about that?
I wasn't aware of plans to block the mountain pass, but reinforcing Dovahkiin is something that's apparently been ongoing for quite a while. It has been going on for so long, and it has been seen where people have unreinforced and reinforced and unreinforced and reinforced, and it looks like the plan for Dovahkiin has somewhat been changing, as if someone has been continuously rethinking, and maybe certain orc chieftains have responded differently. So whenever an orc war chief would kick the bucket, another one would take his place and have a different strategy for Dovahkiin.
What is does he know the complement, or how many orcs and hobgoblins and whatnots are currently in Dummerhorn?
I will begin taking notes.
He says right now, to take the tower is not a feat that y'all could do, but he thinks it could be possible to maybe enter and go towards the lower areas, but if you wanted to try to take the tower permanently, it wasn't going to be something feasible right now. You could make an excursion inside, and you might be able to free someone, if that's what your goal is. But if you want to take
there hundreds of orcs, thousands?
The thing is, the higher you go up, the more troops are stationed. And at the bottom, the least trained troops stay. And outside are the most inexperienced and weak of them. He says he believes right now the garrison outside is roughly 9 orcs and 1 hobgoblin. But as he said, you're not going to be able, with what you have here in front of you, you will not be able to take the tower.
So it's not like there's thousands of them there. It's just...
Yeah, they're sending them out. Basically, they're sending tiny reinforcements, essentially, to reinforce it slowly so as not to draw massive attention. And also, a certain amount of forces were marching away to the farther west, maybe to that mountain pass you were discussing.
How soon is it before winter? I'm assuming that's when... Well, maybe not. Never mind.
Well, remember, it's still spring.
I And because it's still spring, leave a like and subscribe.
Indeed.
Okay. Is there anything he's aware of that can be done?
He believes you could make a small incursion. Just as long as you don't go too high up.
Does he know anything about Forlov the Spoiler?
He says that is a wharf chief from up north.
And he's in Dwemerhorn right now?
Archias doesn't think so. He thinks he's up north. And
Okay.
simply, he was ordering those troops there from his own contingent to help reinforce Dwarvenhorn, either by an order from one of his superiors or part of his own plan.
Okay.
He asks if you want him to show you the fortress.
Yes.
Okay. So he says, follow me. And I'm going to let you take a look of what it looks like right now.
Ah!
Enjoy.
Oh, wow. 6.
A lot of orcs outside.
There's 12 orcs and 1 hobgoblin.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a hobgoblin.
By the way, just so you'll know, these orcs are they're Misty Mountain orcs.
Mhm.
Just in case you were specifically
Not
curious.
Mordor orcs or...
Yeah, these guys are like. I should mention they're smaller than most orcs.
So they're
So
orcs and
how-
not orcs.
So, how newbie out of newbie are they?
They're challenge level of 1/2.
So, basically,
So we
Pretty
could
newbie.
probably
How many hit points
take
do they
them,
have?
but we might want to arrange some distraction or something to assist.
They have. You know what? Since you physically have a master who would know this with you right now, you have, of course, Archias. He informs you that they go over like a bag of leaves,
oh, wow.
which will translate to out of character information of they have about 7 hit points.
But there's a decent number of them, and there's orcs inside the tower. So if we raise too much of a
This
ruckus...
is the kind of thing where we could probably shoot at least half of them down with our bows before they could even
Oh, yeah.
reach us.
But again,
So-
we wouldn't want them raising the alarm and emptying the tower at us either.
So this is a perfect grinding
the other thing you have to
scenario.
remember is that the other thing you have to remember orc society for a second. If they raise the alarm, someone's probably going to look at them, look at us, then look at them, and then wait until we actually bother to enter the tower to do anything about us.
That's what I'm saying. This could be a great grinding scenario where we just go clear out those guys, and then come back a day later and clear out those guys. Come back a day later, clear out those guys.
Because here's the thing: is those weak orcs? If they can't beat us, there's no point in sending reinforcements out to save them in the first place.
So, do we want to
No,
engage?
but if we want to actually get into the tower, I'd rather
So-
not have them alert and alarmed.
So
By the
question
way,
is-
You can go first,
Master
otherwise.
Archias says it's better to hit this at day than night.
Yes,
Because
Understand.
they're all disadvantaged.
Shadow.
Well, also they very much have dark vision. They see very well during the dark, but yeah, during the day they are at a disadvantage to perceive things.
So, why don't we engage?
Because we're not at this location.
We're looking at it from a distance somewhat, but even if we wanted to, I'd rather prepare to attack and not just have brought food.
I thought we brought our weapons.
So we did, but okay. What other information can we get out of this guy? Shake him.
Go ahead and ask any question you want. He is here to help. By the way, just so you know, like, Mr. B, like, how, like, things, like, scholars know things a little bit of everything?
Yes.
I just want to show you, I'm going to roll his shadow lore check real quick.
You
Just
have
to show
a
you
you
what
have
his
a
skill
10
is.
add-on.
Does that make sense to you, Mr. B? This is from the book, by the way.
Okay,
I took this character out of
I
it.
understand.
Okay.
I see what.
So I ask how stupid they are.
Archias
Pretty
asked, what do you mean?
See, here's my challenge, and this is where you guys can help out. If we're not going to be able to take the tower, then what is the point of this side quest? What is our goal?
I know.
Okay. Here's the thing. We can't take the tower yet.
Well,
I would
yeah,
recommend
we
us
level
not
up.
taking it.
Well, no. The problem is we don't have the forces to hold the tower.
Yeah, it's just going to go. But this is why I'm out of questions at this point. So,
But
if
remember,
you
he said
know
we don't.
something,
We don't.
I have two other questions.
Mr. B, can I bring something up? We don't personally have the forces to hold this tower, but if we brought in the other towns on this, and eventually created a large-scale plan to assault the tower, we could take it.
Understood. But there's something that Mr. Dan knows about what's going on there. That because we're supposed to be going here for a reason, and at this point, what I've been told is this tower's been around for a long time. It goes through these phases of being fortified and then unfortified and then fortified. So it's not really a threat. The hobbits don't think it's a threat.
But it is shadow, and it would behoove us to
Do what?
move shadow where we can.
You have to remember,
But
the thing about this is the reason they have this tower is it's a staging point.
Understood. But we're not going to take it right now, so what is our purpose?
So I guess we will let
seeing
Dan.
the threat.
Yeah. So Dan, ask some questions to give us some direction here, please.
I don't know about the direction that you were thinking, but I was going to ask general troop movements, like how often orcs show up, stuff like that, stuff that I can report back to Mirkwood. But I'm going to ask also about if he knows any ways that one can counteract blight and such.
I can assist you with that, but there's another question burning in you. There's a question that goes unanswered.
I feel like I already have fairly decent answer to my question. However,
Is this where my brother is?
However, I don't wish to bring it up at the moment where we are this close to the tower.
And he looks over to you and says, "The question you want to ask me, but do not wish anyone to hear, is yes, and yes, it could be done."
Is my brother here?
Then I think we should head back, eat a feast, and then tomorrow at dawn, perhaps we could do something about these unfriendly fellows.
Yes, well,
And
And I will say,
Infiltrating
because
the lower
I
levels
have
of towers.
information that there may be a prisoner or prisoners in this tower.
And I say, this is where my brother is, isn't it?
Okay, so you mentioned something about a
Something I can
prisoner.
do about stealth.
Now I understand why we need to try to take the
Deception
tower and
break.
why he said we could do a small incursion to get someone out.
I'm feeling
And I
bad
also
about using these
ask,
cookies.
Yeah. If you look at my roll, deception-wise, you probably can tell, but you might want to make a perception check to
Yeah,
see what you can tell.
I can do an insight.
My
check
character
on
doesn't
what-
care that much.
Oh.
He's just eating some of the cookies. Pip. He's off to the side having a conversation with Pip while eating cookies.
no,
Rampage,
no.
what
So
would your-
I ask.
Right.
So I ask 2 questions. One, is this where my brother is? 2,
Can y'all share
And
what?
I'm
Tell me what the
Okay,
rules
so-
were.
hold on. So I ask if,
I rolled a 9 for deception. Mr. B rolled an 8 for insight.
so I ask,
I'm not answering. I'm not lying about the question, but I'm trying not to give it away with my face.
no, so I ask, could we gain their trust and then backstab them?
No.
Archias basically says,
Wow.
"Oh my
Oh,
gosh." Okay, you rolled a 22 for insight for obviously what you're asking Archias, I imagine, right?
No, that's against Anne.
I know.
Against So,
Okay, Mr.
yes.
B. Just to go with what you got with your roll, you look at Dan and you think maybe he could be hiding something, or he has indigestion. You're not sure exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a little hungry and hasn't been eating enough.
Cookies.
Rampage, you look at him and you realize something has been hidden from you. Something.
And normally I am difficult to read, but
Yeah,
not
22.
this time.
22
Not
beats
this
whatever
time.
you roll. Apparently it was
and
it was
so,
so
this is
hard
what I
for
do.
you to keep. It was so hard, like you wanted to tell him.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is what I do.
Yell over my shoulder.
This
Get
is
on
what
with it, Elf.
This is what I do. I charge up my bow and I ask, is this where my brother is? Tell me or I will shoot.
Yes, but we should attack at dawn, not toward the end of the day.
That's good. We can do that.
Archias comes to you and puts his hand on your bow and says, Rampage, I know you want your brother. You will have him. I'll see to it myself. But not now. Now is not the time for the heroics. If we attempt it now, your brother could be lost to us forever.
No. Now is the time to eat cookies.
Yes,
I say we.
I agree with
I
that.
say we outfit Pip in some armor and send him in on the front line with Nick.
Yes.
I disagree with
Let's
this.
see if I can continue to be
come
the
on.
dodge master
No, we do it.
and not get hit at all his combat again.
Nick hides in the bushes.
I think we should leave Pip with Arcturus or Arceus.
I still
And
loved the last game where I just didn't get hit.
Yeah.
And Archias, you notice, has a knife, apparently in a scabbard, that he has near his chest, and he kind of motions to it and says, I will be assisting you in this. Do not worry.
Okay, I've got one more question.
Yeah.
What does he know about the amulet that was stolen from the dwarves?
He sits down and tells you that, contrary to what the dwarves might tell people, or what word might be going out, the truth of the matter is that the dwarf defenses failed. The shadow killed all the guardians of that place, and took the amulet. No one knows what happened to the amulet after that.
Dun, dun, dun,
It's
dun.
believed
I'm
that
just
the
gonna
shadow
go ahead-
might even
I'm just-
possess it.
I'm just gonna immediately cough very loudly at this.
Like,
I'm now having a coughing fit.
I'm not gonna say anything. Okay.
Yeah, like the moment he brings this up, I'm having a choking fit on this cookie.
okay. I'm still really happy that I found out where my brother is.
By the way, interesting enough, apparently Archias has no ability to inquire about lies and deceptions. It's totally not one of his skills. His skills are literally history, medicine, and shadow lore, and that's it. That's the only skills he possesses.
Do you think he could detect my my coughing fit?
No, he thinks that he's now concerned, and he's ready to perform some sort of maneuver on you to help you spit it out.
Yeah, because your medicine issue. So, why is the shadow after the amulet?
And with that, Archaeist looks over to you, Doctor, and says, "Why is the shadow against any object of power? To
What does
possess
it
for
do?
itself." I don't know what the shadow thinks it can do with it. That would require mind reading the shadow. The shadow might just think that it is an advantage for it to have it. The thing is, the shadow could take the object and put it somewhere valuable and cause chaos to hit a particular land of its choosing. It could use it as a weapon in a per se by its effects.
Okay.
So it's
But-
just a cursed amulet? Super duper cursed?
Supposedly, undead dwarf tend to guard it?
Undead dwarf guard it?
Yes. And so
But
technically,
they killed the undead dwarf? How do you kill an undead?
that is a very
Fire.
difficult challenge, actually. I hear fire is very effective, though. Regardless, a undead dwarf... They say the ancestors of the dwarves, I apologize, defend the amulet and go against anyone who might try to hurt it. The shadow could use that, what the amulet is supposedly supposed to do, as a weapon against a specific people. Perhaps if they manage to get one of their agents to take it into a major castle or town, could you imagine what would happen?
Blight, I'm sure.
Not just the blight, everything else. Undead ancestors of the dwarves coming to get revenge. Pretty severe stuff. Many walled cities do not have the wards or guards necessary to keep it safe from more unnatural things, as you probably know, my friend.
Yes.
So I hear
But,
this.
you know what, DK? I feel like this is a good stopping point.
Yeah.
And so just so y'all know, I hear this, and I think, can the blacksmith make me wooden arrows, and something that can set those arrows on fire, so I can shoot fire arrows.
Well, that's simple. You just take an arrow. You attach this like nice cloth. You douse the cloth in pitch. You light the pitch on fire, and then you fire the arrow.
Yeah.
It's a fairly common thing.
That's actually more of something that you might do to prepare your arrows. With that,
But doing it in the forest is not always a recommended idea.
true,
No, I
true,
can
true.
start forest fire and it will kill all the undead. I mean, it won't work. Just like,
Yeah, but it might also kill the forest. And then the forest might get angry at you.
You are an elf.
You're an elf. You won't like that.
With that said, Mr. B, Archias hands you a chest, a small chest.
I am not very strong. How big is this chest?
It can fit in your palm. Like,
Oh, it's teeny tiny chest.
Well, it would go from, say, where your thumb is to your finger if you had it fully extended.
Oh, a chest of holding.
I like
Or an amulet-sized chest.
An amulet-sized chest. Okay.
Would you like to
This
This may
open it?
also just hold a pencil.
I ask him I thank him for the chest, and I ask him what it's for.
Open it and find out.
Oh, okay. I'll open the chest.
The chest opens up into darkness, and a big "to be continued" is seen inside. Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I don't think this is Dragon Ball Z.
Indeed.